Welcome to Keeping Up with Our Community, a podcast for and about Romeo Community Schools. Each week, we will invite different guests to share insights about some unique aspects of our schools. This podcast is powered by the MIT TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than MIT TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and you can even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the MIT TV of Romeo, Michigan, and you can contact them right now via email at mit.tvromeo@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com. Hello, my name is Marianne Brush, and I serve as the Communications and Marketing Supervisor for Romeo Community Schools. It is my pleasure to introduce Episode 6 of the Keeping Up with Our Community Schools podcast. Today we will meet some of our student leaders from Romeo High School. With us are representatives from the Student Council, SERVE, which stands for Students Enriching Romeo Through Volunteer Experience, Romeo's Athletic Advisory Committee, also known as RAAC, and Link Crew, a student mentorship program. Let's begin with Rihanna Arkin, Student Council President. Rihanna, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself. What year are you? What academy are you in? How long have you been involved with the Student Council? And what inspired you to take on a leadership role?
I am a senior at Romeo High School. I'm a part of the HHP Academy, specifically the non-emergency medical pathway. I joined Student Council at the end of my freshman year of high school. I was inspired to take on a leadership position because I really do enjoy to have that sense of leadership and feeling that I can lead a group and work with others with a little bit of a higher role where I have a bit more control, but also working with a bunch of people.
So tell us a little bit about the Student Council.
So StuCo is a wonderful club. We plan homecoming, charity week, spirit weeks, different types of fundraising events. We meet regularly. We talk as a group about what things we want to see happening in the school, from varying things, fun events, to even things like that affect the student body more particularly. So things have come up with like senior events and things that we'd like to do as a student body. We decorate the school oftenly for events like homecoming week and charity week. We are responsible for pep assemblies and all those after school events we plan.
Are there a few highlights? There are things you're most proud of?
Recently, I've really been proud of Charity Week. We raised over $17,000, which was wonderful, way exceeding our goal by a lot. It was wonderful to see everyone come together and work hard to raise this money, especially since we had so many troubles with like all of our snow days. So Charity Week was super, super prideful. It's also homecoming is our second biggest event that's super prideful because it's just so much fun to see everyone so excited for throughout the entire week for the dance on Saturday.
So it helps raise students' school spirit and get everybody involved.
Definitely.
And get your peers all engaged. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Charity Week. Who was the recipient?
So we sponsored Maggie's Wigs for Kids, which is a nonprofit organization that specializes in ensuring that children who suffer from hair loss are cared for. So they help children from chemotherapy to even alopecia or burns, and they help so many students, children, my bad, and they were wonderful to work with. They were so thankful, and we were so happy that we were able to help them so much.
So I understand they came to the pep assembly and were there for the check presentation?
Yes.
Yeah, that's wonderful. All right. What would you say to younger students about why they may want to get involved in the Student Council when they're older?
It's so much fun. You feel so recognized when you see a poster you made on the wall or maybe a flyer you made posted on the Instagram or on the announcements. It's fun. It really is. It brings more enjoyment to school. It's not a club that you need to work hard for necessarily. It's just something you come to be creative and you be fun and you share your ideas. Our meetings, especially like our decorating meetings, those are so fun. We have so many streamers, so many balloons, paint, posters, and everyone is at school till like 4 or 5 o'clock, and we're just decorating the whole school. And we're all excited because we're decorating for something that we've been planning for so long.
Great. Well, thank you, Rihanna. Next, let's hear from leaders from Romeo High School's Community Service Organization, SERVE. With us are Reese Fanis and Lucy Garcia. Reese, let's begin with you. What year are you? What academy are you in? And how long have you been involved with SERVE?
Hi, I'm Reese. I'm in the DEM Academy, specifically the architecture pathway. And I started SERVE freshman year, but I really got into it sophomore year. And honestly, going into it, I didn't expect much, but it's just like an amazing experience, getting to know so many people that you wouldn't otherwise. And I cannot recommend it more.
How about you, Lucy? Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Lucy Garcia. I'm in the HHP Academy. I'm in the emergency pathway. And I joined SERVE at the end of my freshman year, but it was kind of like the hybrid year still, so I didn't really get into it until sophomore year as well. And I applied to be a board member sophomore year as well. And I really love my experience with SERVE. Like, I keep going up in my hours. Like, I'm always doing a SERVE event. Like, there's not a month, I think, or a week that I haven't done an event. They just really pile up and compound. Like, they're so fun, and it's like learning outside of the classroom, and I meet a ton of different people, and like I've made friends from that.
So, do you, two of you want to share with our listeners some of your highlights for this year?
So we have, every year we do the SERVE scholarship. So we fundraise and provide our high school seniors who have completed their hours with a $500 scholarship to help them with their studies. And it's really great that we have the opportunity to do that and to fundraise for that, especially since like many of them have like worked so hard, and like all of their volunteer work is nonprofit. Like, they're not paid, they're not like forced to do anything. It's all by them.
Another project that I personally am really proud of us for is the thrift store in our high school. Near our cafeteria, we have a thrift store open during all lunches and after school occasionally, and it is completely free clothing or necessities such as like toothpaste, toothbrushes, like socks, anything you need, and it's completely free, and we're just giving back, and I love it so much.
So it's free for everybody.
Yes, it's for any of those who need it, any of those, like, anyone.
Why is it important that it's free for everybody?
Because a lot of these people, like, don't have access to it, and with it being so close, like, in your own high school, a lot of people don't reach out if they need help. So having it right there is so much, it's a lot easier access.
And it reduces a little bit of the stigma too, right? Everybody's using it. Everybody loves to thrift.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter if you need it or, yeah, that's great. What are your goals for the remainder of the year?
Our goal is to recruit new students, obviously, start the freshmen out, get them working and inspired to help others. That way they continue through their high school career to help others. I honestly think there is no reason they shouldn't join, just because it's such a wonderful feeling to help others. Like, it honestly helped me so much with like focusing in school, even like just by helping others. Like, it gives you so much like serotonin. Like, it just helps me overall helping others.
Well, before we move on to RAAC and Link Crew, do any of the three of you have anything more you'd like to share? Anything, advice you would give to any successors next year? Anything you wish you had known that, Rihanna?
I would just recommend to young students or even students who might be entering their senior year, it's so important to get involved in all of these wonderful extracurriculars because it makes high school so much more enjoyable. Of course, doing a club that you specifically prefer. So if that's with creativity, joining student council, or if it's volunteering, joining SERVE, or anything that you're interested in, it just makes high school so much more fun, and it creates so many memories, and it's the most wonderful way to meet new people.
Reese or Lucy, anything you would wish you had known when you started on this journey?
Yes, 100%. Going into it, especially freshman year, not being directly connected with the high school, I was a little bit nervous going into it, like, oh, should I do it, should I not? Any person going into high school would say, go for it, no matter what. you meet so many new people, you get so many connections, especially because you might not have classes, you might not see these people, and getting the opportunity to connect with them and work together, I think that is so important moving forward.
I think people should join clubs based on what they like, because many people follow their friends and don't want to get out there because they're scared to do it alone. Every event, there's someone that will talk to you that you'll get along with, so you'll meet new friends, you'll meet new people. Do not follow your friends just because they're your friends and you want to be glued to their side all the time. Like, put yourself out there and give yourself the opportunity to learn and grow from others.
That's great advice. Thank you. So a little something about your post-Romeo plans, Rihanna?
I'm attending the University of Michigan to study pharmacy, and my hope is to become a pharmacist in the years coming.
Great. Yes.
As a junior, right now I'm still looking at my options, but I'm very much into engineering with the architecture pathway, so, it's all in the air still.
All right.
I'm undecided on what university to go to yet, but I do want to become a nurse. I've applied to multiple nursing programs. I'm just waiting to make my final decision.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next, we have Jackie LeBlanc and Reese Babbage, President and Vice President of Recruitment, respectively, for RAAC. Jackie, let's start with you. Please tell our listeners a little bit about yourself. What year are you? What academy are you in? How long have you been involved with RAAC? And what inspired you to take on a leadership role?
I'm Jackie LeBlanc. I am a senior in the DEM Academy, and specifically in the robotics pathway. I joined RAAC when I was a sophomore, which was RAAC's first year, so it's still like kind of a new organization. And what inspired me to take on a leadership role is that I like helping others and like guiding others to do like not specifically what's best for them, but like what can help them improve in different skills, and also to like get more support for other people that need it.
What about you, Reese? Please share a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Reese Babbage. I'm a senior. I'm in the HHP Academy, specifically Law and Public Safety. And I chose to take on a leadership role because I am a competitive cheerleader, and it's a sport that doesn't get much peer support in its season. So my goal to really get involved was to bring awareness to the teams that don't get much student support and hopefully get more student sections. And I've also been a part of RAAC since its original year, my sophomore year.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about why it was formed, what its purpose is, its mission.
So RAAC was formed by our athletic trainer at Romeo, Kayla, and she kind of thought of the idea to, like Reese said, to help get more support for the sports that typically don't get a lot of fans to their games, and to also get other athletes more involved in like our sports community and kind of connect our sports together to see like if we have similar problems within our teams and how to like make our seasons better and more fun for the athletes.
What sports do you participate in?
I play basketball and softball.
Okay. So I understand you had the opportunity to participate in the Michigan High School Athletic Association Women in Sports Leadership Conference in Lansing recently, where you attended 2 days worth of leadership, team building, and self-empowering workshops hosted by some notable women in the sports world. So can you share a little bit about this experience with our listeners?
So personally, I think this experience was amazing. I definitely learned a lot, and I know the girls that went with us definitely learned a lot. It just taught us a lot of different leadership styles and ways to get people involved in things that maybe they don't want to get involved in, or like taught us how to deal with difficult personality types. It was just really an amazing experience to learn a lot of things that normally we wouldn't learn much about in our normal day-to-day lives, like injury prevention and how to deal with fear of trying new things, that sort of stuff.
And you brought it back to your school?
Yes, our last meeting was actually yesterday, our February meeting, and we brought this True Colors personality test to the meeting and had everyone in the rooms take it. We separated into 2 different groups, and you find out whether you're one of 4 colors. So I'm a gold personality. I'm a very scheduled, and I like to be on time. I like everything to be a certain way. And so you met with your color, and kind of decided what's your best qualities, what are your worst qualities, and how could someone on your team that's not the same color as you go about a situation with you, and how to deal with other colors that maybe you don't get along with as well.
What color were you, Jackie?
I am an orange. I'm more like kind of self-driven and self-oriented in that kind of style.
Interesting. Were there any particular women at the conference that you had opportunity to meet or hear from or were inspired by?
Yes, one of the meetings that I went to was by Dr. Ramona Cox, and she talked about diversity and how to like deal with the different people on your team, and like that the differences on your team aren't just by looks but also by like personalities, and that everybody's different personality like makes up your team and kind of like creates your team and creates the bond.
Wow. Good for sports and good for life too. Yeah. So when you're not attending leadership conferences, what kinds of things does your organization do? How do you involve other student athletes?
So we do a program where we do Game of the Week. So we bring awareness of a specific game that happens to fall on that week that other sports can attend and get points for our point system, and that's how you become a member of RAAC. So this week I believe it's men's swim. I think it's Friday. They have a swim meet, so anyone who goes to the men's swim meet will get a full point towards their membership. And we do that almost every week, and then on top of that, we do a bunch of community events. We did a trunk or treat earlier this year that had a huge turnout. It was amazing. We got almost every sports team involved. They had their own little trunk.
So that's for like younger students to come out?
Yes, anybody.
Yes.
Anybody in our community could come and kind of just enjoy the time.
Yeah, we had a bunch of elementary kids come, and even younger middle school kids came. And then, like I said, every sport had a table or a trunk because it was kind of rained out. So we did it in the gym, actually. But every table was a different sport. They had a theme. I think the most notable were like the Sandlot ones cheered at Barbie. Football did Christmas. It was a really fun event.
Great. All right, well, finally, let's hear from Ava Kafuri, president of Link Crew, correct? Ava, tell us a little bit about yourself. What year are you? What is your academy and your pathway? How long have you been involved with Link Crew? And what inspired you to take on a leadership role?
All right. I'm a senior this year at Romeo. I'm in the HHP Academy, specifically the Non-Emergency Health Academy. And within Link Crew, we do many things such as organizing school events, and we made a program, we called it peer-to-peer, and many other schools participate in a similar thing as well, but we started to involve it within our school. Peer-to-peer is a program where at lunches we set up these specific tables for our peers to sit at who wouldn't otherwise necessarily have people to sit with, and us as Link Crew leaders will go and sit with them, we'll play card games with them, we'll have a conversation with them, or we'll even just like sit there with them, and if they don't want to talk to us, we'll just give them someone to sit with. And I think that's definitely been one of the most impactful things that I've taken out of Link Crew. It's honestly so awesome to see like the way that we can directly change peers' lives, like who are in even our same grade, and we wouldn't have even known about them or known how to reach out to them. Like it gave like, I guess, such like a platform to be able to get on like in contact with these type of people.
So it's a class in addition to an extracurricular. Can you explain that a little bit?
So Link Crew is a class. It can be 1 hour out of our day, and with that we learn how like we can take the skills we have and how to apply them to certain situations. And outside of Link Crew, there's not much outside hours besides there's a couple training courses over the summer. But besides that, we mostly work within our school hours to try and promote certain activities throughout our school.
So what does the training consist of? Just to teach you how to be a mentor, or?
So yeah, the
skills?
training will, it kind of more so like social skills and organization as to how we're going to run certain events throughout the school year. A big event we do as we begin the school year, is introduce the 10th graders to the new high school, as well as introduce the 9th graders to the 9th grade academy.
So before we wrap up, do any of you have anything more you would like to share? Any advice you would give to anyone who's going to be your successor next year, if you're a senior? Anything you wish you had known when you started that would be helpful to somebody else?
I would say to just join like as much as you can without overwhelming yourself, because getting involved and being involved in different clubs and activities, like it introduces you to a lot of new people and you get to make new friends, and it also puts like your name out there to different people, whether it's like just teachers around the school or if it's other like job opportunities for people.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the biggest thing that I would have wanted to know my freshman year or sophomore year is definitely get involved in as much as you can. It introduces you to brand new opportunities, things you may not have actually taken interest in before now become more interesting just because you've been a little bit more exposed to them. It just opens up a lot of doors that you never would have seen had you stayed in your little shell.
I definitely agree with that. I also would say definitely join it as much as it seems like you're doing stuff to help other people. Like, you'll come to realize that you take out so much more, like, lessons than, like, even for yourself. Like, so as much as you're helping other people, you're also getting a lot out of it yourself.
Anything you want to share about your post-Romeo plans?
I am going to be attending Lawrence Tech University to study mechanical engineering, and I'm also going to be playing softball there.
Amazing.
I'm still undecided. I'm waiting to hear back from a few schools. I'm looking to go down south, though. I'm going to major in sociology with a focus in criminology and criminal justice. And then from there, I'm looking at law schools.
Nice.
Next year, I'll be going to the University of Michigan to study biomedical engineering. And then I hope to go to med school and become an anesthesiologist.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
Good luck
you.
to all
Thank you.
of you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time today. I'd like to thank our student leaders for sharing with us how our students lead in Romeo Community Schools. Thank you all for everything you do to enrich the high school experience for students, not just those currently attending, but also younger Bulldogs, so they have a better idea of what to expect when they get to high school and ways they can contribute to making their school a better place. I would also like to thank our listeners for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, please take the time to listen to our earlier episodes. And next up, we will hear about the district's new K-5 literacy program, Amplify Core Knowledge Language Arts, or CKLA. Thank you for joining us, and tune in next week to keep up with Romeo Community Schools. This podcast is powered by the MIT TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than MIT TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and you can even edit your podcasts. That's all right here at the MIT TV of Romeo, Michigan, and you can contact them right now via email at mit.tvromeo@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com.